airport.
Yeah.
It's like a hot, wet flannel just smacked straight on your face.
It's exactly.
Oh yeah.
Exactly it.
Yeah, I've never been anywhere hot without the humidity, over there. So
it just feels like an oven without the cookies. Or dog breath is another one that we like to use.
Nice. Yeah, I'll stay over here with a bit of rain, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, all aboard!
Dan still hasn't shown up yet, but I know he's coming. Anyway, hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the padded room. This is our 9th episode. We made it this far, and nobody's been arrested, so
we're doing good.
We are.
Yeah,
it's just all green screen.
It's actually in a cell.
Okay, so we have the usual suspects. We have me. We have Jack Childress. We have Jen, the shit starter Amato. Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
We're going there. We're going there already, are we? Okay. We have Jason Aston, as always. And we have Ricky Fleet, our official UK correspondent.
Happy to be here.
And today, we have Mar Garcia. You're in Spain?
Hello.
You're in Spain, Mar?
Hello.
Yes.
Wow.
It's okay. If you feel any better, we're disappointed when we look in the mirror anyway.
Dan Newbell will be showing up fashionably late, apparently, but he is going to be here. However, Courtney Constantine couldn't make it, so we'll have to get her on the show at another time. Anyway, I'll wait for Jack to get. I'll wait till Dan gets here for the explanation of what the topic is supposed to be today.
Supposed to be.
I'm going to try and keep on topic today.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. No.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll with it. Wherever the wind takes us.
And that'll be different how?
Not at all. I'm consistent. I preach consistency.
Excellent.
I'm always a total shit.
So, since we have a captive audience, Mar, why don't you tell us about you?
Me? About me?
You. Yes, you.
Really?
What you
Unless you want to tell us about somebody else, that's okay.
What do you want to know about me?
Everything. Exactly. How did you get started? Why did you get started? And I definitely want to know about the tattoos.
They
Okay.
are awesome.
Then wait until you see my back.
Well, tell us about the board bomb.
Well, it just started as just a tiny project, just featuring some authors, some people, and the community just grew and grew. And I started with authors, and now suddenly there's filmmakers and game creators and producers, and I have no idea how this got this big. I'm just talking about the community and spreading the word, and that's it's basically what I do.
So are you having fun at
horror community. Whoa, lots of fun. Yes, it's so amazing. I mean, and even I get to try video games. I mean,
that's cool.
Wow.
Can it get cooler than that? Like, can you try my game? Yeah, of course. I mean, what a question. So I'm knowing a lot of people are meeting and a lot of new people, and I'm just having fun with it. So
any idea how many contributors you have?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Somewhere
Yeah,
between quite a bit and then get fucked up.
yeah, lots and lots of them, because I have the ones that I've seen because it's video, with interviews and chats and all of that. But I have a lot of people just collaborations on the website, people that just send me their books or their ads or anything, and I put them on the website. So there's a lot, and then we have the reviewers, and then I
I'm
have
one
the
of them.
bloggers. Yes, Jeff is the best, the best one. I mean, I love your reviews.
I owe you one, don't I?
I love them so much. It's like he's my number one reviewer, and then I have the team of reviewers, the team of bloggers, and then I have all the people that just check out the films and everything. So just a lot of people. I can't recall now how many we are.
Wow.
Yes.
There's Dan looking like what it was, Kildare was here.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hello.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Ricky, Jack, Jen.
Hey, what's
Ethan.
going on, Dungeon Dan?
Yeah, I made it. I guess I'm late though, right?
A little bit.
A couple minutes.
I just,
Yeah, we're just wrapping up, Dan. So, any last words?
Kilroy. Tim Brooks has chimed in.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Hello, Tim.
Timmy.
oh, stop.
Okay,
That'll keep going for hours.
all right. So now that everybody's here, a little discussion about the topic of today's conversation, knowing full well that we'll probably dive into more rabbit holes than can be calculated by existing technology.
Oh yeah, somebody's getting a twisted ankle.
Yes.
Mhm.
The topic of conversation, supposedly, said with a laugh, is magic. And here's what I mean by it. I am a pragmatist by nature. I'm a realist. So I believe in what I can see and what can be proven to me. So a lot of the UFO stuff and the cryptid stuff and the conspiracy theories, I'm like, However, I have an open mind because of one simple thing. There are certain things in this world and in this life that can't be explained. Let me forget the supernatural stuff. Let's just go with the natural stuff. Love, for example. Love.
What's that?
Everybody knows what it is. Everybody's experienced it. In fact, if you haven't, I truly feel sorry for you.
It's a chemical reaction that'll make people want to do some crazy, stupid shit. And
Crazy,
everybody's
stupid shit. Exactly. However, some of the greatest minds in human history have tried to define it and failed. We know it exists. We just can't really define it. Another one would be chemistry. And for that, as Exhibit A, this train wreck. By all rights, logically, rationally, this shouldn't work. It's unbridled chaos, and it shouldn't work, but somehow it does. And it does because of the magic, for lack of a better word, of chemistry. I can't explain it. I have no fucking idea how it works.
That's a very grand way of explaining people love watching other crazy people do crazy shit.
But it doesn't explain why this combination works.
Now, it's paraphrasing the whole definition, but it could just be like folie à deux, the whole shared madness.
That could be.
We all have a piece of the same fucked up cake somewhere,
Yeah.
or whatever dessert
All
you're
right.
into. I don't want anybody out of there.
I look at somebody like the Beatles. The Beatles, everybody's familiar with the Beatles.
Who?
Fuck you.
As Jeff dies, or as
Ricky's starting trouble.
Yeah, that's it. John, Paul, George, and Ringo, separately, on their own, are good musicians. They're not great musicians. George Harrison couldn't hold a candle to Eric Clapton. He just can't. Ringo Starr's a good drummer, but he isn't Keith Moon. He isn't John Bonham. He's good, but he's not that good. Something about the four of them together, however, made them the greatest band in the world at the time they were doing it. That's chemistry. You can't explain it. Now, given that these real, rational, normal life things can't be explained, it leaves the door open, even if it's only a little bit, for the possibility of magic, for the possibility of the supernatural, the extraterrestrial, the what is the word? Screw it. The paranormal.
The Matrix.
Yeah.
And it was a DLC back in the 70s or whenever it was, the Beatles DLC, and now we're in the 2020s and we've got the Padded Room DLC. And I don't mean to brag, but I think I know which one's better. You know,
Yep.
what did they sell? Handful of records?
Yeah, one or two.
You know.
Yeah.
I think when we look back on history, you know, in 100 years' time, people are going to be like, Ring who?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but it's going to be,
Sure.
our names are going to go down in the annals of history. Probably for all the wrong reasons, granted, but we're going to go down somewhere.
I don't have those kind of lofty goals. If I get remembered in a couple of local news articles for starting some shit, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Cut out and stuck on the inside of a scrapbook. That'll do me.
Hey, I was happy to see myself get mutilated in one of Merrill David's books. So, hey, what the hell?
Right.
I mean, but
So-
back to what you were talking about technology, Jeff. I mean, 200 years ago, what we do now would be considered magic.
True.
You imagine where we're going to be in 100 years, 200 years, 300 years.
Exactly.
What we're going to be able to do if our governments to get out of the way and stop fucking us over anyway. You know, it's going to be amazing. But yeah, you know, is magic just stuff that we do not understand and comprehend yet?
Yep.
Like the universe, you know, things like that.
That's true.
To be
As
fair,
well
not
as
to sound like super lofty or anything, you mentioned love and things like that. That's one of those, not to throw a word on it, but I know Jen understands where I'm coming from. We're of the same mind crowd type deal.
Yeah,
It's just one of those divine things. We will never truly be able to quantify it in any way.
We won't.
Nope.
We won't. But we know it's there.
Yeah.
Well, here's a theory I'll throw at you, and I got this. A little while back, I listened to Tesser by Chris Philbrook, and it's a story about dragons. And at some point, nefarious means managed to make these dragons basically dormant. You know, they captured one, and the rest are asleep or buried somewhere. And without them, all magic ceased to exist. But before that, when they still, I guess, governed over everything, there were trolls, there were elves, there were all the fantastical things that we all know of. And with them gone, we've lost it. So maybe we just need to go find our freaking dragons to really get it going again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've lost it except when we're children. Children have no problem believing in it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's only when we get older and we get more jaded and more cynical that we stop believing in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and magic.
Hey, I'm not cynical. Jason's cynical.
Well, yeah, that's because, and this will go into my point, if you grew up watching Scooby-Doo, that logic was put on you. All the monsters and all the horrible shit in the world you found out was just regular
Real
people down the street.
Roll.
Farmer
Yeah.
McGee.
My thing is, you know, when we're kids, like you were saying, Jeff, when we're kids, we're innocent. We believe everything. We believe whether we can see it or not. And I think a lot of that is closed off. They call it the third eye. And the third eye, it's actually a chakra point. And it also helps with being able to see the unseen or being able to understand the unseen. And when you're a child, you're constantly you don't have a box that you fit in when you're a kid. But then the older that you get, the more your parents are trying to mush you into this box and shut up, sit down, you're in school, behave. You didn't see that. You know, you don't have imaginary friends.
Don't push that lady down the steps.
I didn't. My friend
Yeah,
did. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, my friend.
Hey,
So
that's where you get the benefit of having siblings. I'm just going to say that.
So to me, raising our children and trying to make them
My friend did it.
quote unquote presentable people also closes off the third eye. So when you become an adult, you're completely unaware of that other dimension. There are other dimensions out there. There are, like, from what I can remember, like 10 or 14.
Yeah, there's scientific theories about all of them, not just our
there's
metaphysical shit.
there's tons of theories about them and stuff like that. So I mean, is it magic or is it interdimensional stuff coming through? Is it magic or is it alternate reality? I mean, which rabbit hole do we want to go down today?
Hey, could be all of the above.
Yeah.
All of the stuff, magic or whatever, over time it was just shit we did not understand given our technology or what we could actually perceive of the world around us. Like they used to explain everything to gods, demons, or whatever. We know, like, the sky is blue because of the fucking way the sun comes through the water. There's all kinds of weird shit. But,
well, Mar, Dan, what are y'all's takes on it?
You go first. Mar.
What? I think it's true what you were saying about that when we're kids we believe everything. That's why, because we're not adults and life has still not run over us, and we still have dreams and those things we used to have when we were kids. But it's true that there's a lot of adults believing in magic. I mean, there's lots of witches, lots of people in this. I mean, there's also adults believing these things. Even more because in my social media that the algorithms show you what you are supposed to be interested in. In my social media, you can imagine what kind of things the platform show me. And there's a lot of witches, but lots of them. And they are just regular people, most of them women, just healing people and doing these witchy things that they do. That I don't know about, but they do witchy things and they heal and they are in contact with the moon and with the sun and with these things that they do. And that it's adult people. So there's a connection there with when we were kids. So I think maybe it's coming back to childhood when you believe that when the moon is full you can go crazy because you can blame the moon because the moon is full, so I can just be an idiot because the moon is full. You know?
Love it.
I feel
Magic as an excuse for our idiocy. I love it.
I mean,
I think for some people it is. And I'm part of that group that you're talking about, Mar. I'm part of the
Idiocy?
I call yes,
Okay,
that too.
yeah, okay.
But
Hey, I'm a member of both.
I consider myself a witch. I'm pagan, and I consider
Okay,
myself a
but
witch.
I
I'm
think
just a
we go
straight
in law,
idiot,
okay?
so.
So please.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm not
No.
offended at anything you said because honestly, I think you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. I
Okay.
mean, because I think when you grow up, you know, because that stuff goes away, you know, and you have to adult, you do want to revert back to that innocence of childhood, but you know, you start actually because you have an adult brain. You
He's
can
wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah. Tim Brooks. There's no real proof,
Yes.
they say, but if you work in law enforcement, you hate full moons.
Yes,
Mhm.
That's true.
there
Mhm.
there actually is
Yeah.
real proof, Tim. There are statistics that show that everything goes up excuse me, at full moons about 3 days before and 3 days after.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably
But-
travel. It's
Yeah, I
Magnetism.
know people that they are just here. Well,
Yeah.
here in Spain, we say when you had everyone in the family had an awful night or something. You know
Yep.
that a lot of things happen at the same time. We say that there must be a full moon because
Yes.
I mean it's common. It's common saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer
Well, like-
and I are both actually practicing witches, and
Yeah.
you being in law enforcement,
You said-
where
you
you
said-
were,
you
know
said
those nights were
witches.
heavy.
They
You know
were.
those nights were heavy.
They were horrible.
Yeah.
They were horrible.
Which is, and sometimes I think people just use it as an excuse, like, oh yeah, full moon out, and then there's some jackass out there like I don't care what this is, every traffic jam starts out because of one idiot,
Mhm.
and that's all it takes.
Yep.
Mhm.
You're not
It's
wrong.
true.
Yes.
That is true.
Dan the man.
Fuck.
I'm so lost.
Mhm.
I have never seen this train so stable ever. We're usually far off the rails at this point.
I'm behaving
You missed the
myself tonight, so
Magic. You know what I think? of
We're
magic?
lulling you into a false sense of security.
Hey, look,
Oh, good.
don't feel bad, Dan. I actually thought we were going to be talking about the card game. I even brought my deck over there.
See, that's
Oh
what
my
I can say.
God.
I hear magic, I'm thinking, a magician.
Fuck.
And then you guys throw all this really deep stuff in, and I'm like, shit, I'm lost. What the hell?
Where's
Where's the insanity?
That thing behind me is an altar.
There you go. I do like Wiccans. I'll tell you that. I'm not one, but I like to read literature, actual literature. I'm also very big in paranormal. That's only because I lived in a house that was haunted for a while. It's interesting stuff, but I don't really consider any of that magic. Or even just being an adult, having thrown away all the childish thoughts, what you used to believe in and what you bought into. Geez, I don't know. That's all I got to say about it so far. Ricky, talk so I can make a meme.
yeah, going around the group. I mean,
God damn it.
I'm just trying to pin down. 'Cause, when we were was Tim,
always
you're
try to-
creating rabbit holes. You're making rabbit holes for us, and we.
All right. Now, hang on. First off, Tim, this would have Richard Ryan Rose just in a total lather
Busy.
right now.
Yep.
First off, Bigfoot is a racist term. They prefer to be called Sasquatches, just so you know.
Let's just start off with your third word here.
And
Yeah.
if you read,
Sasquatch Americans.
that's right. And if you or
Indigenously
foresters.
large beings with big feet.
Foresters is acceptable, but if you'll read Richard Ryan Rose's first book, you will discover that Sasquatch, particularly Buford, does not like Chewbacca because they're just skinny, lanky, scrawny things that he could easily smash with one hand.
But they lived
So,
for
You
400
are,
years.
Tim. Yes, you are.
I love it when the arguments start going
He
to
said-
one typical thing arguing with another one.
I had to look at that word twice just to make sure it was a word.
It is.
it's not a word.
Specious.
Is it? Species. Yes, it is. Okay.
I thought it said
Jesus.
I
specious, and then I
think it's
actually
probably
looked.
spelled wrong, but
Okay.
Well, at least we know who's driving the damn train off the tracks this
Yeah.
week.
I know I didn't finish school, but come on.
all right. Well, here's one for you. Since we have writers here on the panel,
Allegedly.
Sort of.
there's a certain there's a certain aspect of what we do that's magic. There are times when I'm writing, I have no idea. I'll look and I'll go, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
Well,
How about the opposite on that one, Jeff? How about when you write something down and you're looking at it going, what the fuck am I trying to say? You know how you write a paragraph and to you it's like, that sounds so awesome. Then your beta reader goes, what the fuck, Jeff?
What is this?
hey, look, I'll take it in another direction just as far as that goes. Like, you guys who write, and I do respect you for doing it, if you ever get your words into print, at some level, you've attained the equivalent of immortality.
Yeah.
Your words will exist far beyond your lifespan.
They're going to be around long past
See,
themselves.
That's why I always tell anyone that's written me into a book at this point that I'm literally, truly, from the bottom of my heart, honored, because I'm in those pages in some form or fashion, some version, variation, and that's an immortality. Magic.
I'm only terrified I'm in hers.
Hey,
I would be terrified if I were you.
Oh, the things you will be doing.
Actually,
Make him wear the unicorn.
Drink up, buddy.
Yep.
Make him wear the unicorn hat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she's got worse plans, and you shut your whore mouth right now. Don't even fucking start. No.
here we go. One wheel.
Oh, here we go. I know who this is. That's Rachel.
I got something I want to say. Go ahead.
Aren't you glad you joined us, Mar?
That is my aunt and the only family member I will acknowledge. Which lets you know my options were pretty fucked up. Now I love her to death, but if you guys need one-liners, she is the woman to consult.
Yes.
Listen, I got something to say about writers. I don't want to use God because you assholes are going to just run with it. But, you guys have got honed in a skill to where you create a world, and even though you use real world and you use real locations, you've got a whole bunch of people that don't exist that when you're reading these stories, they exist to you. That is an amazing power to have. I have yet to achieve it. I've been dabbling with my own little story, and it's not going very far because I can't figure out how to make that person real.
Sorry, Dan, carry on, buddy.
Well, think about it.
I was just going to say, I was thinking when we were talking about this, at what point in my life, we all used to play with toys and stuff. And I can even remember now that when I was playing with, the He-Man, ignoring the fact that he's like massively homoerotic with his loincloth and massive, chest and stuff like that.
But he has the power.
Oh, he did. But the thing is, it was real. And then I'm just trying to think like 9 or 10, and it becomes a lump of plastic, and that something's just gone in your head. But as writers, and I always used to speak to my students about this, and they wouldn't read. And when I said to them, when I write, I'm in that world. I'm actually there. I'm watching. I'm seeing how the people are reacting. I'm noting what they're doing, and they're like, "Oh, we've never read a book. We can't." I look at a page and it's just words. And I wonder if that's in terms of like whether it's magical, whether certain people close off that part of their mind that allows them to maintain that dream world, that imagination. I still dream quite regularly. Some people never dream. My dreams are always fucked up, granted, but is that just another facet of, being able to, I don't even know when I'm going with that, but,
I think I know where you're going with it. It's just, it's something special. I don't know. I guess at some point everybody can get back to that point, but let's take Hellspawn, your series, Ricky.
Yeah.
Is it Hellspawn?
Oh, please don't. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. The family from book 1, I bought them as totally a real family.
So did I.
And I'm like, okay, now if I'm going to write and I want to do a family, maybe I should base it on mine. And then I realized that's like the worst thing I could ever do. So I had a great family, but we didn't act like none of you all's family, obviously. So I guess what I'm saying is, to me, people that can create that world, create people that don't exist, that's magic.
Yeah.
God, that went
When
down.
you
I
guys
was
are-
really hoping we could knock
When you
another
guys are
wheel
creating
off.
your worlds and stuff like that, and I say this primarily as a reader, the most convincing times where you guys have a character that I will believe is real is you guys touch on not just the essentials of what they look like or what they do for a living. I mean, all that shit's meaningless. They have insecurities, hopes, fears, things like that. When you guys touch on that, that makes it more believable. That's what gives your character that depth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
I got another example here. We all read Tufo, I'm sure.
Oh yes, I'm wearing right now.
Oh yeah, some assholes licking my peephole.
Love it.
Best thing ever. You don't know this one, Jed?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Don't shoot me. I haven't
No,
read
no.
a Tufo
Oh,
book.
There's a
so
reason
funny.
he's the number one over here on top of the wall. There's a reason that
I
book
get it.
one is up there, man.
I
Oh,
got a
Man,
long list.
genius.
Trust me, you want to get Zombie Fallout started.
What
Mm.
would
This is the
Talbot
new
do?
one. But so Tufo has created these characters that have gone on to technically 17 books now, and about 19 Ultraverse spin-off things.
Yep.
So when you're going to jump into a Tufo book, you already know you got your key people. You already love some of them. You already hate a couple of them. I picked up Jamie
Dunno.
Hernandez's books, Urban what? Anybody remember?
Urban Jungle. I've got
Urban Jungle,
I've got two of the three. I've got it's Urban Gridlock.
Urban Gridlock. I've got the first two, and I've only started the first.
Yeah, it's
But-
pretty good, man.
Well, I'm digging it, but here's the point I'm coming to. This is a brand new writer, brand new story, and I always get this fear. It's like, okay, now I'm going to have to try and get invested in these characters. And she knocked it out of the park. I totally believe these two guys, they're maintenance guys or
Construction work.
construction guys, yeah.
Mhm.
And they're working on this high rise, looking down while they're eating lunch at Zombie happening. I
Mm.
bought it right away. Then again, that's the magic. She figured out how to make her characters real right from page one.
Yeah.
I've started
And-
other books where I'm all like, I just can't get into these guys. I'm not buying it,
Mm.
It happens. I mean, it's happened to me. I've started reading books and I wouldn't get, hell, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 chapters in. And I'm like, I'm just not connecting with anybody. I'm not connecting with the flow of anything going on here, and just be like, nope, and just move on to
Yeah.
something else. Or then you get like Jeff's characters in the Guardians of the Apocalypse series. It's easy
love
to love
all-
those characters.
Yeah,
It's
it was
so
easy
easy to love
right
those
away.
characters. And again, like Jason had brought up about the subtle things about the character development. You've got so many sub stories with Jeff's characters that are just kind of behind the scenes, but they build the actual universe itself, where
Yeah.
it's not just Coast Guard going to war. It's like, well, there's also love interests. There's also families losing people. There's the grief that they go through chapters later that could affect things going forward. And it just makes the thing tangible. You can
Right.
feel it.
Right.
You're in it.
I can picture every room you all sit in to write. It's got to have sticky notes sealing the floor, and all
Looking
these
like the
screens
conspiracy
attached.
theorist. Yeah.
Hey, don't
Okay.
say anything against conspiracy theorists.
I think
There-
the
there is-
technical name these days is conspiracy factists, because they're all just coming true.
There is a reason, running away from conspiracy theories, there is a reason that the number 2 best-selling book of the 20th century, second only to the Bible, was Tolkien's trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
There is a reason, and it's because you believe hobbits and elves and good dwarves and dragons exist. He wrote it in such a way that it's just like, yes, they're
Mhm.
real. Even though we know they never existed anywhere ever.
Okay,
Right.
you can believe that. I think
Yeah.
dinosaur skeletons
Yeah.
are dragons.
Jeff works for the government.
Full confession over here. I couldn't finish Tolkien.
Don't worry. It literally took me a
So-
couple years to finish that.
So
I just-
how long have you been in Al-Qaeda?
Right. And it's like, and I've seen like the first, I don't know, 20 minutes of the very first movie that they did. And I've only seen The Hobbit, the cartoon, because they made us watch it in school. I just couldn't get into it.
I'll give you that. The movies are slow as hell to start.
Well, literally,
I
I
have
can
to
do the
admit,
movie for
I
you right
agree.
now.
I'm with you.
Yay. I'm not alone in this world. I mean, literally, here's the
I'm
movie.
with you.
I haven't even.
Walking,
Thank you.
walking,
I thought-
walking.
I thought
I
it
am
was
so
alone.
disappointed right now.
No, why?
I'm Team
I mean-
Mar right
I'm
here.
out. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean,
This is his limit.
meadow, tree, stone, tree, stone, tree, stone, tree, hobbit, tree, stone. That movie's gone. I
Done.
mean, it's
That's
Got
it.
it down.
That's
Okay,
it. We got
hold
it.
on. Now, I don't say this is disrespectful. When did she turn into Randall from
No,
Clerks?
it's not disrespectful.
Clerks 2.
Clerks 2, yeah.
Yeah,
Clerks 2.
3 movies about walking.
Made the guy throw up.
I got you walking.
And that's really all it's 3 movies of people walking. They dodge a stone or two, and then
Talk to a
Thank
tree.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
they did mess the Hobbit up something
Thank
wrong.
you. I'm your
That
friend
was
forever. Thank you.
awful.
I thought I was so alone in this.
no, you are not alone. We
You-
stand in
you-
solidarity.
You're both completely wrong about Lord of the Rings, but
Rick, if it's any consolation, when I read The Hobbit in high school, I ended up finishing it before everyone else in my class because I actually enjoyed it.
yeah,
All
I
right.
really enjoyed the book.
All right.
And
Yeah,
that-
Despite
I enjoyed the book. The movie was okay, but I think I only finished watching it because I
That's
liked
very
the actors.
polite of you, but it's absolute wank, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's crap.
No, I was like really. I went through a phase when I was younger where I was like really into high fantasy stuff, and that was fucked up enough that like I was kind of okay with it at that point.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings I love, but the Hobbit films, I've watched them once. I'll never watch them again.
Oh no, not the films.
They
No.
definitely.
But the book I can read over again.
No.
I know he does go a little bit OTT on the descriptions, but
Tim nailed it right there. If the
Dude.
angels flew them out, why didn't they just fly them in?
There was some bullshit about how like they only came around when needed or what. Like I was like, okay, yeah, that was like, oh wait, how do I fix this plot hole?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I'm sure I've read
Don't make that face at me, Jen.
a lengthy.
I'm just still
Tolkien
stuck on when
scholars-
you said when I was younger, I was into the fantasy. What, last week?
He was younger then.
Is that your age, George?
I mean, it's not
Technically.
wrong, but come on.
He was younger 3 seconds ago.
Okay, we've established. Okay, hang on. Okay, off the rails. There's a reason you and I got along, and I've aged 10 years older than I am. I've seen a lot of shit in that time, so don't even fucking question.
Oh,
The hard
blame
hard
me.
paper round.
You were there for some of it. Don't even start.
Started some of it.
I say when I was younger because I look like I'm in my 40s.
No,
No, you don't.
no, you don't.
You thought I was.
Taking tickets for Magic Talk. Taking tickets
Yeah. Guys,
Go away. I'll
for
buy.
Magic Talk.
mine's flown out the window and it's currently on top of the train with some hobo cooking sock coffee.
Sock soup.
He's using it as
I
kindling.
love that film. I love that film.
Yes. Thank you.
Every Christmas, at least 10 times we watch Polar Express.
Hey, has anybody seen The Sadness yet, other than me? Anyway,
No,
Every day.
I really want to see it, but
you have
no,
no Ricky, no.
it's on Shudder, isn't it? Or
It's on
Hulu
Shudder
or
right now.
Maybe
Yeah.
or some other weird random 4-letter fucking subscription service.
Yeah, I know it's on Shudder.
I'm
Yeah,
looking at
it's- yeah,
Tim's
it's-
I
comment
got
here.
to see it before it went streaming.
I'm just saying, even the
What's
bad guys
this?
want to get high.
What's that?
Looking at Tim's comment here, even the
Yeah.
bad guys want to get high.
Yeah.
You notice he never calls it tobacco.
Yeah.
No. It's
They
what,
don't.
like Hobbit
Well,
or
that's taboo.
something weed. It's
Leaf.
weed. They call it weed.
Leaf. It's leaf.
Mhm.
Long bottom leaf.
I will
Like in
die on the
Star
hill that
Wars, they
Tolkien
go
was
with
a stoner.
spice.
Well, that's because it's not
Mm.
But
tobacco.
that was Dune.
It's actually leaf. Makes you feel good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Damn it.
Of course, the best,
Damn it.
the
That's
best,
all he says.
the best name for a strain of pot I've ever heard was called Matanuska Thunderfuck.
It does exactly what it says on the tin.
That sounds like
is that
something that
in?
would. That sounds like something that would definitely have me believing in magic.
It's grown.
Yeah, because
grown,
that'd be a
Dragons as well.
Yes.
It's grown in the Matanuska Valley of Alaska,
Okay.
where the growing season is very short,
Mhm.
but it's 24-hour daylight. So they end up with cabbages that are like this big.
Mhm.
They're huge.
Well, they
Still
need
in my-
to. Short growing, they got to get that all year long.
It's aptly named.
Hell, do they need a forklift operator?
I
Is that
actually
saying?
found some of it. I actually found some of it in a dispensary here.
Damn.
I couldn't believe it.
More expensive than the regular stuff.
Uncle Sugar.
It just made me laugh.
When Texas goes green, I'm growing my own strain. It's going to be called Dog Fart. Silent, silent and deadly.
So you might have a hard time selling that one, bud.
No, we got
No,
a beer.
the weirder the name, the
Yeah.
more
Yes.
prevalent it is, the more people want it. I don't
Right.
understand it
I
myself.
will back up.
It's unique. It's
I'm going to
unique.
back up what Jen's saying. I work at a place that sells alcohol, and we have a beer called Unicorn Farts that we can't keep off shelves.
I drank
damn.
it.
Really.
Oh, of course you did.
I drank
Of course
it.
you fucking did.
No,
It's the nastiest shit ever.
yeah, well, after drinking it, did you get them?
No.
No, you don't.
Unicorn shits, maybe, but
I was gonna say, wait, hold on. Were there fried mushrooms involved?
no.
I was gonna say, because if so, she had unicorn farts.
No.
Glitter, rainbow, and everything.
All right, two more wheels just fell off. Now we're talking about farts.
I regret nothing.
Taking the track away now.
Hey, I'm actually getting to sit back like I work for the conductor. I just get to watch all you guys getting crazy.
Are you the
You just-
caboose operator?
No, he's the guy that's
Bringing
like
up the rear.
he's standing by the pile of coal while Jason and Ricky shovel the hell out of it.
Uh-huh.
And Mar is wondering why the hell she agreed to come on this show.
Look, this is the only time I'm going to say this.
About the caboose.
I am so sorry. Not to the rest of you, just her.
Understood.
Okay.
What a way to get introduced to a few new people, right?
Yeah, we're all
Guess what?
fucking
She could be a regular now. I
Yeah.
guarantee it.
Shit, I see a few of us getting unfriended by the time this thing's over.
Yeah.
Mar's our new Spanish correspondent.
It's called the padded room. We're essentially the person in the room fornicating with a goddamn peanut because we're fucking nuts and we're never getting out of here.
You know, in a weird way,
I knew that'd get a couple people
was
to crack.
strung together really nicely. Just took me a moment, like, fucking nuts. Oh, I get it.
I know it was a long walk to a bad joke, but I'm not sorry.
No, don't be. I'm going to make a meme about you now. This episode, you are safe.
Now you are also immortalized
Hey,
for all
no.
eternity.
Hold up now. We still got over an hour to go. There's plenty of time for Ricky to earn his spot back.
I'm sure.
I'm on my best behaviour. I already said that.
Well, I love that. I love that whole thing, Jack. We still have an hour to go. You know, we always go overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all like, I wonder if Jeff's getting penalized for this because we.
No, what I couldn't believe though is the last one we did, that 7-hour marathon.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
It took me half an hour to get you guys to shut the fuck up.
We like each other. What?
After 7 hours.
I mean,
Magic in the making.
yeah,
Aw.
there it is. There it
Aw.
is.
There it is. There's our tagline.
Yeah,
Magic.
the train builds up momentum. You can't just stop it.
And I am wiping tears, but not for that. That's hilarious.
I got to do something to represent the family DNA. We're a clusterfuck of humanity.
I was gonna say you got a lot of making up to do. You're taking it on for
Bullshit. You don't know the history. We did plenty.
Well, at least you're in the right place.
That would be a first. Usually I'm just dumped where, oh, wait, people need shit? All right. Case in point, how I met that one.
Aye.
So I've got to ask you two.
Oh,
You're
okay.
both witches. Tell us about it. You're both witches. Tell us about it.
Yeah, do you use spells and shit?
Yes, I actually owned a metaphysical shop where I sold, which is how I met Jason in the first place with his aunt, 2 aunts actually.
I can
And
picture this.
we sold everything for, it was mainly Wiccan rituals and stuff like that. So we were very much into the nature, give back. If you dig up something that you're using, whether it's for cooking, for spell work, or you need a tree removed or whatever, if you are digging up that tree, talk to the tree first, let it understand, and then dig up the tree, and then maybe either replant a new tree in its stead somewhere else, or if it's small enough, just transplant that one. It's pretty much a nature kind of religion. Being pagan is something totally different. Not totally, I can't say that. It's
pretty
it's kind of like Christianity is how I use it. You know how Christianity has Catholicism, they got the born agains, they got the Baptists, they got the Lutherans. It's kind of how paganism is, where there's a ton of different traditions that you can choose from depending on who you worship, God or goddess, and you can pull from any of those traditions that you want for studying and for worshiping your god and goddess, or you can stick with one pantheon. That's entirely up to you, but pretty much it's your path is your path. You do what you want. A lot of people are all into this love and light stuff, which is great, but nature is about balance. Paganism is basically anything that isn't. Yes, thank you, Rachel. It's basically, it's about balance. So with light, you also have to have darkness as well. So getting both to work together and in a mutual respect for both sides, the darkness of you and the light that you have, the good and the bad, having a mutual respect and understanding how that can work together. That's kind of basically what paganism is. Spells are done you're doing it to help yourself. You need money, do a money spell. You want someone to leave you alone because they're bullying you at work.
Wait, let's go back to this money spell.
Yeah.
Hey,
we need to talk offline.
From our group.
And set Tim Brooks off here. He's going to jump
here's
in.
the thing, and I think it's where you and I see things at a different perspective between Wicca and paganism. Paganism is like, you need to put a name to the thing. That's your religion. Wicca is just more a spirituality. Like, you're in tune with the nature around you. And as far as spell working, which can be thrown into anything, I don't care if you're cooking a meal for your family, working out, just working. It's all, they preach that, like, every book, every piece of literature you pick up, it's all about your intent. Like, what kind of...
We've just ascertained that Tim's intent is quite dark.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, Tim, I get it. Like, hey, you don't like your head? That's totally fine.
You're evil, Timmy. No. It's not like the trees are sitting there screaming, oh my God.
Yeah, I live here in America, and I think grass lawns are fucking useless. But
well, no, they produce CO2 and whatever, and
yeah, so do flowers and herbs and everything else I would possibly fucking grow in that space. If it's got leaves, it will give me O2. I'm okay with that.
It's just basically, a love of nature and understanding that nature works. You work with nature. You're part of nature, and there's meditation. There's grounding where you're walking outside barefoot just touching the ground, the dirt, that's taking all the bad energy, stuff like that we believe helps stress reduce. There's a lot of things that we do for ourselves and a lot of things that we do to try and better ourselves.
Attaboy.
It's not all about, oh, well, I want fame, so I'm going to put this spell out, because some people, this is kind of controversial. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
This is kind of controversial in the whole paganism, spiritualistic, is karma. Karma is a controversial topic. Karma, some people believe that whatever you put out there, that's what'll come back to you. The golden rule: treat people as you would want to be treated. Some people believe that karma is an entity that not only does she avenge you, but if you were wronged first and you should do a spell against someone else that causes them harm because they harmed you first. So she won't come at you if you're doing, it's just like karma's an entity and actually reasons and sees why decisions were made.
If you were truly justified in your actions.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's like the existence of the Jinx fairy, because I know that bitch is real.
Never heard of that, but I'll go with it. What is that?
Trust me.
Before you get going with the whole
She's
thing
out
of
there.
karma, I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
A lot of people see it differently. It's very much talked about. The threefold rule is what it's called, or the rule of three.
Yeah.
Is whatever you send out in the universe, whatever you send out there spell wise, if you're doing nasty spells on someone, that nasty spell is going to come back on you 3 times as bad.
Then why would you? Then
Right.
if all the witches and Wiccans and wanderers and whatnot know that rule, why then would they actually even consider doing a bad spell?
Because
I do them. I'll tell you right now. I've put nasty juju on people because
Is that why my damn right foot stinks more than my left foot?
it
was her fucking fault. I knew
It
it.
wasn't you this time. But I've done some nasty stuff to people because they have been ridiculously nasty first. And so, I mean, for me, it was just, don't start no stuff, won't be no stuff. That's right, Jim.
Right.
That's right, bro.
What you said about how karma weighs and measures. This is one of those things. Yes, we have the threefold law, but it's more like that caution. Don't go fucking overboard. Everybody knows if you have a reaction to somebody being shitty to you or screwing you over or whatever, okay, there's only so far you can go before it's like, all right, did you really have to keep going? Like if you got in a bar fight and the guy was already down and you kept hitting him.
We don't want him getting back up, do you?
Well, true.
It's kind of like the whole
He's getting back up.
Very soon.
In law enforcement, they have you match force with force, or if you're taking your if you have a carry concealed weapons, if you're in a state where you have to go get a license for carry concealed weapon, they teach you have to match force with force. You can't pull your gun out on somebody just because they called your mom a hoe.
Right.
Not in Texas.
They still think it's the wild west out there.
I want to.
Dan's got the right side there. I don't care what anybody says. Dan's got the right side there.
I'm sorry, you call my mom a hoe? You get popped.
Yeah, for sure.
Before I go back to one of our previous discussions about movies, how many people here have seen Friday?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. All right. I empathize with the old man. Like, okay, if you're just gonna sit there and talk shit, I'm gonna clean your clock. That's it. Like, I don't need to pull a gun on you for that. You threaten me or my family's lives or anybody I actually care about. All right, you done fucked up.
Yeah.
So you're not leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, but then there's the Roadhouse example, where the guy Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze,
Best film of all time.
yeah, it was where he's telling the people in the bar Okay, this is when you react. This is when you start throwing down and smacking people around. And one guy says, "Well, what if he calls my mama a whore?"
Is
and
she?
his response is she?
One of the few lines I remember that from that movie, and I'm sorry, is "Don't eat the big white mint." Okay, Jen, in
Okay,
case you're
let me-
unfamiliar, it's a sign over the urinal.
I
Yeah,
I
haven't
know.
seen that movie in forever.
All right, well, we're hanging out
I
soon.
have to rewatch it.
Mhm.
All right. So while we're still talking about Wiccan pagan, and we got the two witches here
And urinal cakes.
and urinal cakes, which if,
Not a
depending on how
mint.
drunk you are, they're not that bad.
Oh, little chewy.
Ricky, I just gave you a second meme for me.
But if you
All
haven't
right,
got chewing
Jen.
gum, Dan, what are you going to do? You're not going to walk around with manky breath, are you? You're going to go for the pine fresh.
I'm hoping to score before I leave that bar.
You're doing it for the other people. You're not doing it for yourself.
I'm a very unselfish person.
There you go. So yeah, it's
And there just went another wheel.
I'm intrigued to know, Ma, in terms of sort of Spanish witchcraft or general kind of stories, what sort of stuff comes from your neck of the woods?
Interesting stuff.
Spanish.
Look, I know
It's
some
very
Brujeritas,
religious,
but I don't know if
really
it counts
religious,
that thing.
isn't it? So
I want to hear more about it from her, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting stuff.
Well, in Spain, it's how you call it? Sorry, my English. Where you put the babies? The
Cradle.
yeah, that's the
Listening?
cradle of
Yeah.
of the hunting of witches. This is Spain. Welcome to Spain. And
Okay.
the Inquisition in the medieval era. I mean,
Mhm.
here we have buildings that are 2,000 years old. We have stories of all kinds. But here there are a lot of stories about the more than witches. We have a lot of stories about kings and their lovers and the nuns around them, and I mean it's not we don't have a lot of witchcraft in here because I okay, I'm going to rephrase that. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're
okay.
good.
Yeah,
Go.
you're doing good.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. There's a lot of extremely old buildings in here, so we have a lot of medieval terrible stories
Right.
that have to be with witches, but because they hunt them and they burn them, and so we have to me very interesting stories like people that have apparitions from hell from those people. So that this is the kind of stories and well, but not only tales. I mean that they are documented
Mhm.
from
From way
from
back, right?
apparitions. Yes, exactly. From people that come back. And for example, there's one of my favorites is one of the girls that she has a rich family. You know, one of these that they have vineyards and cellars, and they like it was in the like 600 years ago or something like that. I mean, really, really old.
Mhm.
And she had to marry a guy that she didn't like from another family because she had to. But he suddenly died, and it seems that he was a terrible, terrible person. Like these rich people that they are perverse and they do terrible things. And he appeared to her one night, the night, 2 nights after he died, and it seems it was a dream. And it appears to her, he appeared to her, and he grabbed mm, forearm,
Mhm.
and he burned her, and she felt a terrible pain, and he told her hell is real, and he disappeared. And when she woke up, she had a terrible burn in her arm that she could see her bone.
Ooh.
And nowadays, that is documented. There's the medical document, and we have in a museum the piece of iron or metal or whatever they used to cover her arm because she was a girl from a rich family. She couldn't be with that, that she had to cover it. And the jewelry piece they made for her to always cover her forearm with that. And that is, I mean, we have no pictures because it was a lot of years ago. But and there's the medical documents, and there's the piece, and there's the story. So like that, we have a lot of them, a lot of these stories. So it's not really witchcraft, but there's a lot of these kinds.
A lot of paranormal stories.
Actually,
Yes,
I don't
exactly.
think paranormal.
Kind of ties. Sorry, Dan, carry on, bud.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say is the old, like the sort of onset of the Conjuring type movies, where the witches have signed pacts with the devil and it's granted powers. From your two's opinion, have you ever come across people that have dabbled in that kind of? I'm trying to make contact with something a little bit shady, like like some Hollywood producers and actors that.
There's a lot of weirdos out there.
Like they deal with the occult
and worship Morlock and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, have you come across any people in your day? And going back to the threefold rule, how would that visit on something? Because at the minute, all those shady people out in Hollywood, all those satanic fucks, they seem to be getting away with it.
How do you really feel about them?
Oh, mate, I'd fucking wipe the whole place off the planet.
I'll help.
Yeah.
I'll help. That was literally the worst industry I ever survived in. Made a lot of money, but good Lord, it was horrible.
You should try trucking.
Fuck that. Try being the warehouseman that has to unload the shit that you bring. Yeah, we're going right down the totem pole right now.
Yes, we are.
All right, let me bring this up. First off, Spain has been putting out some of the most amazing horror movies in the past 5 years. I mean, just amazing. Some of it just even made me go, oh, crap. But the one thing I know about, I've learned about that particular country is you don't get a whole lot of paranormal. It is usually involved in a religious level, a demon level, and witches, which I find amazing because they have the oldest buildings around. Well, they don't have them all, Ricky. Relax. I know you all got your castles. But
yeah, they were fighting words there, Dan, but you backtrack, so we're good.
Well, because, your Hellspawn guys fucking took over a castle and started ruling shit. Anyway, what it comes down to is I would expect Spain would have more ghost stories, more paranormal than anybody, and it's never really talked about. Everything they put out, it moves over to the different sections. So what do you think about that one, Mar? Is that pretty true? Y'all don't really care about the ghost. It's the demons and the possessions and.
Yeah, well, actually, there's a lot of documented cases of.
There is.
I think. What?
Well, I was about to bring up Spain is the only one that actually has a police documented. I don't want to call it possession.
We do.
The movie was called Veronica. Not that fucking.
Yes, I know.
Song singer guy, but that was actually it's in the actual records of that police station about this girl who, her and her friends.
Yes.
You're familiar with the story. What do you think?
Yes, I know, but there's a lot of them. there's a lot of documented cases of possessions, of vexations, or there's a lot of them in Spain that they are documented by the Vatican,
Yeah.
and I mean it's really a thing. But I don't think it's only here.
Well, no.
I
You're
mean,
predominantly Catholic country, is that correct?
well, not now, not nowadays. It
Okay.
was.
It's still very religious, though, isn't it?
Well, it's we
because
were
nobody's suspected
years
position.
ago, but not nowadays. Nowadays we're as religious as any other country. I mean, yes, I think any country 60 years ago was way more religious than it's now. So
I
I think
agree.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Spain.
Maybe not
But
America.
it's true that there's a lot of cases, and this with Veronica, they took this one and just made it famous, but it's just one more of them. Because if you just Google it, just Google possession cases in Spain. Woo!
Right.
there's a lot of them, but because they are documented, and
Frat party.
I don't, yeah. I think,
Well,
but there's
yeah.
a lot of cases
Veronica
from
was
the
very
country.
special.
You guys don't need to make it. You guys don't need to make stuff up. You get the real shit going on.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of. I mean, but I follow a lot of podcasts and a lot of about these things, and there's a lot of them. I mean, it's not only in Spain. I don't know why Spain is the
Well,
target place for that, but it happens everywhere.
It
I
does.
know it happens everywhere, but you're a guest on the show, and here's my chance to talk to somebody in Spain.
Yep.
You know, again, I watch all these horror movies, and I pay attention to what countries are putting out the good stuff. And Spain has been knocking it out of the park for a while now.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
and that Veronica one took my interest simply because, again, it's a movie. They could have been totally bullshitting me, but they during the end credits they show the document with subtitles. I think they do.
Yeah.
Maybe I drank too much that night.
Mhm.
Karaoke time. But no, it's one of the few times that an actual police force actually wrote this into the reports without just glossing over it. And they had the photographic evidence of the final night.
Yeah.
So that made it interesting to me. You look
I wanted
confused.
to ask Dan a question
Yeah.
just about that movie. I wasn't sure. That's the one that's like based on like a real life exorcism and all that crap, right?
It's based on a real life event, but I don't believe exorcism ever got into it.
Okay, I've got a couple of different movies and whatnot rolling around in there. I just wanted to check.
Welcome to my world. I've got them flying through my head right now. And I can't think of any of it.
Shit.
And I keep popping up with that Spanish possession movie, Bezelbeth. It's on Shudder. I
haven't
know you all
seen
don't
that.
watch anything. That one will twist, and by the end you're just like, jeez, help me.
Yeah. Yeah, but not really. Here, there's a lot of this. For example, I lived in an island that is the Spanish, but it's Menorca. It's on one of the, I don't know how you say it in English, Islas Baleares, the Balear,
Okay.
an island that is attached to Spain. Okay, and there's an abandoned, forsaken hospital, that it seems that they just left. Like there's everything there. The tables, the beds, all the devices, computers, everything
Yeah,
is there.
this is like everybody just disappeared. Nobody knows what happened, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Roanoke.
Roanoke.
it's watched
Don't
by
even start.
how you call it? They are not police, but they are like guards from the
Mhm.
local government. Like
It's a different
well,
branch
people-
of
people
the police.
yeah, and
Okay.
it's the world because it's very near to people who live in the next street, so they
Mhm.
can see the windows of that hospital, just the next building next to you, so you can see that there's lights, there's things. And I lived very very near it, and I walk by, and it even has a morgue that is open, and I never went there because I'm not quite there, but it's open for any stupid teenager who wants to get in and find something
See,
there.
I would totally go.
I know, me too. I'd be there with all my equipment.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be there. And in that hospital, it appeared in a show here in Spain. I don't know if in other countries, because when I lived there, that agents who watched it, they were around, but they didn't get into the building. But a couple years before I was there, they were inside the building. And it seems that they started hearing noises and seeing lights, and they thought that someone was stealing, because there was a lot of expensive devices in there. A hospital, the machines, the beds, everything is so expensive. So they thought they were. Yeah. So there were two men guarding inside the building, and they went up with the elevator and everything, and they found of course, the psychiatric floor. Of course, it had to be that one.
Always.
They went there, and what they said was that everything was moving by itself. Everything. The beds were flying to one place to another, and they just freaked out and left the building. And they called the next level of police here, which is the civil. We call it the civil police. And they came, and they brought two dogs, because we always have, we Spanish people, we have a dog. The police people have a dog. And
hey, Chihuahuas for
they
life.
brought it. Yes, and the dogs never wanted to leave the elevator. They couldn't put the dogs in that floor. And there's recordings of the dog just freaking out in the walls of the elevator, like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
And these agents were in several shows. It's not really shows. It's like the shows where they say the news, that it's serious. It's not a TV show. It's where they say the news and all of that.
Right.
That they left the dogs in the elevator, and they got into that floor, and they really saw like the bed going to one room to another, in a how you call it,
hallway.
There's the rooms, and they saw the bed from one side to the other. And they just freaked out and started like yelling, "Who's there? You have to get out of here," because they have to make. They are. I think policemen, they are afraid of being mobbed if they can do their job being there, because no one is seeing what they are seeing,
And who would believe
and
them?
they saw
Exactly.
yeah, and they called for more people and more agents, and then they saw a woman just crossing the last of the hallway, the like where's the wall, and she suddenly stopped there and said, "What are you doing here? No one is here since a long time ago. What are you doing here?" And they said, "Now you have to get out. There's no one here." Like, they are doing their job, but they were freaking out, really. Like, they were explaining that, like, I'm not gonna sleep in my life again. And she disappeared, and the bed stopped. And that's a real thing in Spain. There was those policemen explaining that, like, everyone is gonna, but there were two of them, the dogs were freaking out, so they just shut the whole building, like, no one is getting here anymore, this never happened, we're never talking about this again. And this happened next to my house, and I could go to that building and watch the window, so This happens a lot in Spain. There's a lot of things like that. So this is the kind of paranormal we have in Spain.
But I think what's cool about Spain, from what you were saying, was that they actually document this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
That
yes,
I know of, they don't document this stuff here, unless
Except
We
except
get Ghost Adventure guys.
except
Yeah,
on
that-
you're some wacky
yeah,
show
what-
person. But
That's a rabbit hole I'm not going down. Fuck Zach Baggins.
I agree with
There's
you.
there's a great old joke about the Amityville Horror House.
Let's hear it.
There was some black comedian, I forget who it was, but he's talking about white family. They're there in the house. All of a sudden they hear, "Get out!" And the white family sticks around. Black family, we're getting the fuck out of here right now.
Deuces.
We're gonna wait till the end of the month, and then we're gonna leave. Black
Yeah.
guys like,
Well, yeah.
you paid our rent. What do you mean?
But-
Our mortgage. What do you mean?
Has anybody else seen what they would deem a ghost?
I have.
I've seen a ghost, but it's all you like the ghost chasing, all these orbs and
The orbs, yeah. Fuck the orbs. That's stupid. It's
I'm
lint
not an
floating
orb
in the
guy.
camera.
The ghost I saw was a solid figure, as real as any of you stood in front of me right now. And we were down. We lived on sort of about 5 minutes from our local beach called Princeton, and there's a place on it called the Point, and it's basically a sort of like a piece of land that basically ends in a point. Go figure. And from there, you can see in both directions for about half a mile. And we're down there, and we always used to have a sort of fire on the inside of the sea defences. And there were three of us, me, Neil, and Adrian. And we were having our fire, and Adrian decides it's time for him to go home. And this is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're just faffing around, and Adrian's sort of walking on the inner side of the seawall. So from where me and Neil were sat, we could see the upper walkway and obviously the sheltered side that led to our basically a public footpath that takes you back to the home. And about 10, 15 seconds pass, and Neil turns around and says, "Oi," and we both look around, and there's a geezer walking along about 10 foot behind Adrian, pacing him. Full black trench coat, full black wide brimmed hat. Now, nobody wears that stuff in England anymore. And he's walking along and he's staring down at Adrian, and he's matching him pace for pace as Adrian's walking away. So a few seconds pass, and me and Neil start to get a bit aggy about it, and we're going to go and tow this geezer in. Adrian makes his way down the path. We're running full pelt towards where Adrian's branch, in case this geezer follows him. We run up at the same time as Adrian sort of disappears from sight, and the guy's gone, vanished. But there's nowhere that he could have gone that we wouldn't see. But, I couldn't see his face, only shadows. But he was walking, as I say, and as solid as any of you are stood in front of me right now.
That's crazy shit.
Yeah, as I say, we were going to tow this geezer in because he was literally just walking and staring really freaky down at Adrian. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But the question that I want to ask you is, with like the paranormal activity focusing in places that have had massive stressors, like psychiatric wards, is that sort of memory out of years long past? Is the figure that we saw that then vanished somebody that maybe once walked along there and we're seeing a replay of the memory? Or and like Mars, sort of like the hospital where the beds are getting thrown to shit, is that just a sort of like a gathering of energy that then has to find a way out some point?
Well, can I chime in with that? Like, a lot of why I'm open to the existence of ghosts and paranormal, if you will, phenomenon is that scientific theory that no energy is created or destroyed, it just changes form. So whatever's powering us has to keep going somehow. I don't know what the fuck that is, maybe we do walk around for a while and people can kind of see us when we're at a. Well, you mentioned hospitals, like that moment of your death. Now, the people who you can't tell me not all people die calmly in their sleep, that kind of thing. Like, you know that. Some people know it's coming, and that's easily the most stressful event of their entire existence. Maybe they keep reliving it. I don't know.
So that would maybe explain why some people have reported seeing ghosts that were victims of suicide.
Right.
Can I just jump in there?
This brings up my one and only potentially supernatural experience.
Uh-oh, here we go. Line them up, boys. Get your drinks ready. Here we go.
We were on the island of Saipan, which is part of the Marianas Islands, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
Fuck you,
You
John.
break down the fucking cheese balls.
You know, I'm only salty I don't have that big jug of cheese balls here right now.
I don't want to go get some now.
I'm gonna have to.
Okay, now that Jack has cheese ball breath. So, island of Saipan.
Yeah.
When the U.S. Marines landed on Saipan, the Japanese soldiers were telling the civilians living there that the Marines would eat them.
What? Wait, there's all this
You're
noise
on.
going on.
Somebody just passed out and fell. Okay, so yeah, they were telling the civilians that the Marines would eat them. So at the end of the battle, when it was clear the Marines were taking over, a bunch of the civilians went up to this place that's now called Suicide Cliff and threw themselves off of it. There's film of it. Do you see anything about and we did, yeah, right. So yes, I mean, like several dozen men, women, and children jumped to their death from this place.
Wow.
So fast forward to about 1991 or so. We were there, and a bunch of the guys on the ship and I rented a car, filled the trunk full of beer.
Of course.
And went up to Suicide Cliff. The idea being we're going to camp out. I mean, this is the tropics, mind you. It's always warm. Even when the weather's snotty, it's still warm.
Mm-hmm.
So we were out there. We were going to go sleep on it. We were going to go sleep up on Suicide Cliff and get drunk and be stupid. So the sun goes down, and all of a sudden it got cold. I mean, really, really cold. It's like freeze your balls off cold.
Wiener shrink.
So it was so cold we all packed into the car. I don't know.
God damn it.
If this was because of the ghost of all these people who killed them and who threw themselves off this cliff, but it was just really, really weird.
That's weird.
It was.
But that takes it back to energy, though, doesn't it? What we were saying, Jason was saying about energy. If they're replaying their most stressful point, and whether they're consciously doing it or not, but the only way that it manifests is by drawing the energy from around them. But what I was going to say is, when I eventually months and months later, I told my old man about the person that we saw, and he said that there was a person that hanged themselves in the woods, literally at the end of that path where Adrian took the footpath. There's a small, it's gradually sort of shrunk over time, and a bloke hanged himself about 80 years ago. This was back when, in the 1990s when I was a nipper.
Oh, wow.
So that's what what we were talking about in terms of stressors, and Jeff, you with maybe not seeing them but sensing that chill as everything gets absorbed. This was the height of summer, so I wouldn't have noticed if there was any kind of cold anyway. But it makes me wonder what does come after, and if our energy, whether our energy is our consciousness and our consciousness is our energy and it goes somewhere else.
See, a lot of that's speculation because nobody can tell you nobody's ever been back from the other side, and everybody who has been back from the other side has different tales to tell. So everybody who's had a near-death experience who has come back and said, oh my gosh, I've seen the other side. There ain't shit.
With the other side,
some have
what you've earned.
Some have said that they see a light. Some have said, oh no, I must be going to hell because it was pretty damn hot. There's no way for us to be able to measure so that we can actually speak on the subject. Everybody speaks from a position of conjecture. We can only speculate what is going on the other side. We can only speculate that because Mar in the event of that hospital where Mar is at, that well, there we go.
Okay, no, I was actually going to comment my damn self. When I had the intestines try to fall out of my body event, which TMI, fun story.
Laugh Riot.
Yeah.
Yeah, my guts are hanging out. I laughed my ass off.
Dave Chappelle, get your heart out.
I just picture him walking, be like, "Oh, guys, excuse me, sorry, shit, get more duct tape."
Hey, real talk, Dan, Mr. Dungeon Dan. I was standing in my mom's room, holding my stomach together, waking her up, going, "You really need to get up. I'm fucking up your floor."
How can you take a story and make it funny like that?
I know. Who does that?
I'm on a thrall, and then he's all like, "I said." It's like, fucking Jack.
Wait,
we need to hang out more.
We just lost 3 more wheels, by the way.
Have we even got any wheels or track left?
I was going to say, how many wheels is this thing?
Well, it's a train.
It's a train.
Oh, by the way, we've lost a couple of the cargo parts of the train, by the way, and I think maybe you're on one of them. I don't know.
I'm still shoveling. Screw it.
No, I think we're at Super 8 levels of a train crash right now. Somebody's jumped the track and crashed into us, and we're the aliens jumping out of the craft right about now.
We've crashed into a haunted hospital.
We have. Even the aliens won't come in. Okay, I got to go back to this, guys. I got to refocus. Jack.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Jack.
You got to keep going.
Yeah, once they got me to the hospital and wheeled me in, for surgery and all that, trying to put me back together. Once they got me under, I left. I died. Like, no heartbeat, out of here. And they started trying to, get me fucking going again, trying to put me back together. And I was out for like 3 minutes, dude. I didn't see shit.
Captain Jack. I'm sorry, Jack. You're just so animated. Okay, like, so I got to ask you, though. Okay, I have to ask you this question.
I didn't see shit. Like I said, it was like I just went to sleep for a while. Like, you ever have the first part of your sleep is usually without dreams. That comes a little bit later on, after you get to sleep. And, man, for me, it was just like that early part of sleep. I was just out. I woke up and laying there looking around, and I got a doctor and a nurse and my mom and other, friends are all standing there at the foot of my bed looking at me, and I'm like, what?
What happened?
Like, it's like, I'm good, man. What the fuck happened?
All right. And so, let me ask you a personal question. You
were
hanging out because you were serving your country, or were you out just doing stupid shit on a 4-wheeler?
All right. Now, wait, who was that for?
You, Jack.
Oh,
you're
no.
like you're holding your guts in. Were you serving your country, or were you just out 4-wheeling?
No, I had a blood clot. It blocked the artery that feeds blood to the small intestines, and so they kind of started dying.
I get it. I suffer from the same problem. 3 years ago, 2 weeks in the hospital, blood clots in the lungs.
Much fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's always a great time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But I wound up having 2 of them. The first one cost me 4 feet of the small intestine. The second one cost me 2 more feet, and it only cost me 2 more feet because I recognized the pain. So, hey, horror authors, pay attention right here. Think about a porcupine on a rotisserie inside someone's digestive system.
Nope.
Ooh, yeah.
That's like a bad night at Taco Bell and tequila. Please
Yeah,
don't.
I've got limits. Come on.
And
I
you're
literally
okay.
had a doctor and several nurses back him up on it when he said that the pain level I was at when I was dealing with those blood clots was the equivalent to a woman having a baby.
Jesus.
Okay, hold on. No, before
You got
anybody
two
says
women.
anything,
I don't want to hear this.
do not say that to anyone outside of this group.
It's out there, dude. We are
You will
literally
never win that
streaming
argument.
live.
I don't care. Somebody might threaten your life tonight.
All right. You guys see what Tim posted?
I'll tell
I just
you
want to say
now.
this. In this padded room, when Tim Brooks is not on the panel, he's our fucking poltergeist. He just pops
Right.
into this shit.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
we're all shocked. You know, it's like, oh, love you,
I-
Tim.
Damn it, Jennifer! I thought you killed him. You only half killed him.
He has some wicked shit going against this guy.
A little bit.
Oh my
Blood
God.
clots are no joke. You're damn right about that. Man.
Yeah, it's not a fun thing. But like
That's-
Jack, I can recognize it, especially when it, like I wake up and I feel a pain in one area, and then an hour later it's moved. I'm like, okay,
Yep,
just
yep,
go
yep.
now. Just get it over with because there's another clot making its path.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, when the first one hit me, I didn't know what was up. I went to one hospital who, you know what? Summit Hospital in Hermitage, Tennessee.
Mhm.
And they said I had a stomach virus. So they gave me some antibiotics and sent me on my way.
Brilliant.
That next morning, I had already, taken my antibiotics. Plus, they gave me some painkillers. I ate the entire damn bottle that night. Literally ate the entire bottle. It was 5 milligram Lortab. It ain't shit. So I took all that. The next day, I am still just dying, hurt.
Right.
So we go to St. Thomas Hospital. And they freaking saved my life because they literally went in and looked to see what was going on, did an exploratory surgery, found that first blood clot, cleared that sucker out, and, well, now I'm here.
Thank God.
Did they put you in that machine? I don't remember what the big tube, and they shoot
Oh,
something in
yeah.
you, and they're like, and they warn you, it's like, don't freak out. You're
Yeah,
gonna
CT.
feel like you've wet yourself.
Yeah, CT scan. Well, and
Yeah.
I also got to do the where you drink the chemical stuff, and they can watch you on camera, and you get to watch it too,
Yeah,
as the little black lines go through
Barium
your body and
swallow.
all that.
you just
Oh,
get
it's
to watch
nice.
it go all, and it goes
Yeah.
fast.
It didn't taste that bad. It's okay.
They injected me, and they're like, hey, don't freak out. You're gonna feel like you wet yourself. I started freaking out because I'm like, I didn't feel like I wet myself. I think I shat. And the guy just looked at me, started laughing his ass off. But I'm sitting there laying in this tube going, no, okay. 2 more wheels gone. Thank you.
Pyong, pyong.
Look, surgery or not, you can't trust them after 30. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Oh, righty then.
Question.
Jeff, where are we heading now?
When you
That was magical.
you said
Way to bring it around.
That's what we like to call a segue in the
Yeah,
entertainment
he found
industry,
the
everybody.
switch. We're back on track. We're good.
The magic of toilet humor.
I'll put the damn hat on again. I swear to God.
How are
You
we?
won't.
I was just going to ask, Jack. You said you only remember the darkness, the
But
black.
yeah, it was sleep. Yeah, it's like I don't really technically even have that time frame as part of my actual story. Like it doesn't exist. I was just not here. I was gone.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was just going to say it was a really weird situation when my nan passed. She passed at home in her bed with sort of most of the family gathered around, and they all went downstairs while they waited for the ambulance to come and collect her. And then all of a sudden, about 5-10 minutes after they put the kettle on and they were all sort of going through their tears and stuff, there was an almighty ruckus from upstairs, banging and crashing and all sorts. Everybody, my mum and everybody ran upstairs to see what was going on, and there was no disturbance. There was nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing had fallen. Nothing got knocked over. Everything was where they'd left it. But,
Wow.
the sounds of it was like somebody was up there going nuts and smashing the place up. But as I say, they got upstairs and there was nothing there. There was no, whether it was a plumbing problem, but, in Nan's room, there weren't even any radiators at the time. There wasn't any plumbing to go nuts. And to this day, until my mum passed, she said she swore that it was Nan saying, I'm here, I'm all right, I'll see you when I see you.
We're good.
Yeah, maybe there is something after, maybe there isn't, but it's always a comfort to think that Nan did say I'm all good.
I mean, who's to say it wasn't?
Yeah, like I say, that they couldn't find. There was nothing out of place.
Yeah,
Nothing. Out of place.
there's nothing.
Noise.
A lot of those shows, I think, a lot of them miss. Now, I liked Kindred Spirits. Excuse me. I liked Kindred Spirits because they tried to debunk. If they had noises or they had lights or they had something, they would try to debunk it with, okay, what in the room or what outside of the room could have caused it? They definitely try to at least rule out, before even calling it paranormal, they would try to rule out stuff that happens in the
naturally.
I watch are exactly the same. They just don't do a Zach Bagans going, demon.
Yeah. He doesn't. Yeah, they definitely don't stand there and go, "Come at me, bro." I mean, the ones ridiculous.
The ones I hate are the ones where they're going in and they got the night vision goggles going on, and all of a sudden they're like, "What's that? What's that?"
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You're freaking out. You're freaking
We're
yourself
all like,
out.
I didn't hear nothing.
And but that's and I think them partially, and people back in the day who used to do tarot readings for show at people's houses, I think those people have kind of made a mockery of anything, whether it's religious witchcraft or whether it's doing tarot or whether it's mediumship. A lot of those people saw the dollar bill signs and just ran with it and have ruined things that really could have been used to help. But now, a lot of people don't want to do that because they don't want to help people. Like I read tarot for all of my friends. I'll do a tarot reading for anybody.
There went another wheel.
Juice box fucking.
Don't let her do it. You're gonna get a high dose of truth, and it sucks.
Yeah. You just got told.
Okay, you guys seen this one? Aaron farts, Zach starts hollering. Here's one thing I really hate about the Ghost of Benson.
Yes.
They've been doing this for 15 seasons or something, and yet they all freak out when something happens or supposedly happens, and then they keep repeating themselves to each other. And I'm like, this is why I don't watch the show. It's fucking 45 minutes of your bullshit and 5 minutes of comedy.
And on top of that, everything's a demon and everything's a portal. It's
I'm just thankful I've never watched this show. I don't know anything about it, so no.
I watched it.
She says that, and there's a butt joke here.
Here we go. Back to the
butts. Butt.
By the way, Ricky, your story, that was actually really cool, but I have to admit something to you, and I'm going to admit it to everybody, and you're not going to be that shocked. As soon as he talks about Nam's past and they hear a noise, you know what hit my head? Fucking zombie, get out of the house. That's literally that popped into my head. And I'm just like, do I say something?
Run.
I think Granddad went up there and stoved their head in with a saucepan just to be on the safe side. Bless her.
Look, I think we all know that if a zombie virus ever became an actual part of reality, when your relative dies, somebody would hear a gun go off, walk in, but why'd you shoot her in the head? Look, I'm just being sure.
Safety first. Safety first.
Tim Skippy.
When he was telling that story, I was thinking, did she really have to scare the crap out of everybody?
How did she hold her breath that long?
Could she just leave a Post-it note, something?
Maybe get the cherubs to sing a little tune, a nice little chorus of angels, but no, Nan just went fucking schizo and smashed the place up. Thanks, Nan.
Yes, Tim. Yes.
That's another one, Tim. Talking to spirits that never knew how to speak English.
Have you ever seen a German tourist? What
die,
did
we
he just
learn
say
all
to me?
language.
Yeah.
Why didn't you start off with Sprechen English?
No.
Hey, well, wait a
They didn't
minute.
even
Jen
have
can
a
attest to
train
this.
to
We see a
start
lot of
with.
that here in Ohio. If you've got a German who doesn't understand English, that is the funniest fucking thing ever. I'm sorry.
I'm-
No, no, no,
Straying
no,
off
no.
the track again. My
Here in
bad.
Texas has a big German population. And, you know, I got laughed at when I first moved here because I was pronouncing the names of towns and places as they were spelled, just to find out that what reads as Gruen is the German English version of green. Green, Texas, not Gruen, Texas. Oh, my God. people
My
in
personal
Starbucks get mad.
favorite, my personal favorite town in Texas is Dumbass.
Oh, it's just down the road.
It's spelled D-U-M-A-S.
All right, look, all I can think is Shawshank jokes now. God damn it. It's Dumas.
It's Dumas.
It's Dumas, but come on, you're driving into middle of nowhere, small town Texas, and it says D-U-M-A-S. It's Dumbass.
Right.
And my biggest question was, what were the football games like? Kick those dumbasses' asses!
Dumbass for a touchdown.
Beat that dumbass.
Oh my God.
Spank that dumbass. If you really want to get kinky about it.
Here we go.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
There we go. Right back into
Drag
this.
it into the gut.
It
That
is
was the
still-
last wheel. We're now
it
dragging
is
ass
still-
on the track.
You don't
It is
start,
still
you don't
attached.
finish.
It's
No,
got
it's
one
not.
bolt. Jason's about to be the
Okay.
one probably to pop that sucker loose, but
We
here
went
we
from
go.
toilet
Nope.
humor to
Nope.
kinky sex. We've
Oh,
gone
yeah.
Asian boards out of this conversation.
I'll
then?
keep my kinks to myself. Thank you very much.
But getting back to magic. What?
Magic. Yes, that's right. Magic.
Is that what we're
Hey,
talking
no,
about?
kinks are also magic. I don't care what anybody says.
Has it,
Magic. Magical.
has it ever existed? You know, in the past, do you think? You know, going back to the whole Jesus and making wine out of water, or whatever it is, and all the this, that, and the other.
Well, you read Tolkien.
Yeah. Do you think perhaps in times when we didn't have the answers that we do now, it did exist, and perhaps as science has advanced and our minds have closed off in the same way that they close off in terms of imagination, has the door closed to the Fae and magic and all the other bits and pieces?
Well, with what
It's
you're
always
saying, as
possible.
we gain more scientific knowledge, I like to think that, okay, the common person now is more, arguably, I'll say that first, arguably more intelligent than the common person of days of old. When you saw somebody mix up a bunch of leaves or roots or whatever and you felt better the next day, that was magic.
See, I was going to bring the same thing up. See, I think
Right.
like let's take Merlin. You know, he was mixing stuff up in a bowl, and he had like these skulls and this fire going. That's called salesman flair. You know,
Uh-huh.
you're just fucking making a name for yourself. They're like, yeah, Merlin was creepy as fuck, but cleared up that gonorrhea right away.
Damn right. Should have seen what he did for my clap.
Yeah, we got problems. Merlin's the
all
dude.
right,
He's
all right.
creepy.
Blow the whistle on yourself, Jack.
Yeah. Put that hat on, Jack.
But see, I mean, if you think about it, every day we're actually doing magic and alchemy in the kitchen whenever we add spices to anything we cook.
Yes.
You're alchemist. It's just not what you call it. You guys call it cooking.
Well, hot damn, I thought I just became an editor this week. Turns out I'm an alchemist too. Shit.
Look at this.
Big week.
Jen said there's a scene in a movie. I think it was Million Years BC or something, caveman movie, where they were all fighting over this big leg of dinosaur. Shit got pulled out to sea, and then it comes back. Now it tastes been salted, and all the cavemen are going crazy about it. Technically, they could have figured that was magic too. It's like, oh, the ocean. Throw your
The ocean
food in
did this.
there.
Yeah. You
You know?
know, so I mean, you're creating magic every time you cook because you're adding things that were not originally there in your food to
Mhm.
make it taste better.
Hey, so is that why sex is magical? Because you're adding something
sex
there
is
that wasn't
magical
originally there?
for millions of other reasons.
Uh-huh.
No, sex is magical. The fact that I had it.
It's a whole different magic on its own.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about it.
No, me either.
Oh shit, Ricky.
Jen,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
I think we should let Mar take the next wheel off. She's been
Uh-huh. Yeah, might as well.
Yep, go
She's
ahead.
like,
Run
no,
with it.
I don't want this.
I don't blame her, but
Like, you
Remember-
people are freaking crazy.
Mar, remember how I apologized earlier? This was
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing it again. We apologize again.
But hey, in our defense, it is the padded room.
I don't think y'all need to apologize. We just need to put a banner at the bottom going 52 apologies coming from
Or
No, I like
screw that. Enter at your own discretion.
I like what you said a few weeks ago. Rated oh shit.
Deadly
That should be
accurate.
the
Jen,
tagline
I
here.
still want to see that, Jen.
You wanted that different picture and I just got it. I'm getting ready to send it to myself.
Cool.
Can you
Sweet.
go ahead and make,
Email.
you
So
make t-shirts, right? Go ahead and put
Yep,
that on for me.
I need one of them. Mar
Put
needs
the padded
one of
room
them.
underneath it. Fuck it.
it's gonna actually be pretty epic. So
Oh,
Cool. All right, to try and wrestle this back some semblance of our original topic.
A little
Good luck.
bit.
What
What was
about
that?
what about dragons?
I love dragons.
Dragons are all over. I mean, the Chinese had them, the English had them, everybody had them.
And hell, you got variations because of the dinosaurs.
I'm sorry, you
Well,
guys see that?
Exactly. I mean, you know,
Do you think-
what's more believable?
do
The
Do
fact
you
that
think that the dragon myth came about because people kept seeing these dinosaur bones and going, oh, well, that must be a dragon.
Or maybe there really at some point was a dragon.
I told you. I'm saying dinosaur bones are fucking dragons.
but at the end of the day,
I don't care how crazy I sound. Everybody here can laugh at me. But when I'm fighting
Where's the wing bones?
exist.
The wing bone? They're all birds?
Funnily enough, they don't make any sense on the front of a T-Rex, but if you were to put those on its back somehow, and they extended to wings that were mostly made of cartilage and feathers, to hell with you, they're goddamn dragons.
It would take magic to fly that fat sumbitch.
Look, I
How
don't care.
much
I've
of
been
the Earth's
drinking. It takes
surface have
no
we
magic.
actually been exposed? How much of the Earth's surface have we actually dug through? A fraction of a fraction of a fraction of 1%.
Exactly.
They're still
And,
finding all kinds of stuff.
in that, we found dinosaur bones, creatures that were 50 foot tall, and that make awesome CGI from like the early 90s that I used to go and watch.
Oh, I'm definitely going to see the next movie. Shut up. No, I don't care.
Jurassic
World, baby. Yeah.
You know, if they can
One of
exist,
these days, I will
and
get to
we know
lick
they
Christopher
didn't,
Pratt's
why
cheek.
can't other things have existed?
according
well-
to the Google,
Oh,
we
no.
have dug approximately 7.5 miles into the Earth's crust.
And it's like 50 miles thick, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
'cause I believe everything I find on the internet.
Yeah, apologies. I meant kind of in terms of like the whole surface area.
Oh, you wanted the deepest hole?
No, not so much that.
Shut up.
I bet he does. I bet he does.
Oh,
Stop her right there.
Yeah, no.
no.
We're back on track now, Jen. Behave yourself. Behave yourself. But yeah, no.
Look
like,
at
you know,
Ricky trying to be a good boy this week.
Yeah, I'm on my best behaviour. But dinosaurs existed. You know what's not to believe about dragons? We had flying dinosaurs.
They blew fire.
Well,
Dragon lore has been around longer than I think Jesus Christ has been around.
yeah.
By the way, that's twice we brought Jesus in.
And
Thank
he's
you.
still
In
questionable.
multiple cultures. In multiple cultures.
Yeah.
Mayan,
Yeah.
Norse, English, Asian, everything.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
fucking had
yeah.
one.
I'm willing to give credence that dragons actually existed at some point.
Mm-hmm. or something that could be
it's
misconstrued.
too
as a dragon,
embedded in
at the
too
very
many
least.
cultures,
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
culture's older than ours. You know.
Yes.
So I go for that. Now, were dragons a good thing, nice and cute, or burning everybody up?
I prefer to think that they would be like well, again, going back to Tesser, I would prefer to think that they'd be like guardians that were looking over this planet. And as we did what we, do on the planet, that's actually benefiting them, through us, keeping the planet strong and safe and all that. But the moment you lose them, no magic.
You just explained the whole Godzilla lore right there.
Mhm.
Godzilla, Mothra, and then the rest of the monsters are assholes.
Yep. Well, you got to figure most of those monsters, or a lot of them anyway, were created by fucking people to go kill Godzilla.
I know. Which, well, by the way, dragons, hydras come from a long ago. I mean, do you ever think we had like the 3-headed dragon? I mean, that's kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Listen, we've had we have 2-headed snakes. Why not 3 or 7-headed hydras?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's funny that you actually went with that because I am actually editing the section of Angel's book that leads up to a battle with a hydra.
Yeah.
You literally just talked that up.
Any book you've
Hydra
ever
has
seen
been
it in,
in
where it's
Greek.
like that thing had 5 heads.
That was
Okay.
dramatic.
Any
was
mythological
dramatic.
book, that fucker was drinking. Okay.
That was like totally poetic right there. You're making this point and you stop. You're like,
I did. Yeah, I did.
You lower people giving you.
Well, no, I
moment to
felt like
catch
I'd
up.
made the point right there where it was at.
Okay. We
We
have
still have an hour. Shut up.
we have
So-
9 minutes left.
Yeah, and
I heard an hour. I'm still going.
I cost us that last wheel. I'll take credit for that one. That sumbitch is out of here. In fact, I think he just took out
out the window.
it just landed in a Prius's window.
I was going to say, oh no, but that's not a bad thing.
Anything but that.
Rather that than Dirty Mike and the boys landing in that Prius.
Is that anything like a dirty Sanchez?
Kind of.
Oh,
We will have to.
well, screw that.
It's
Then.
going to happen.
It could
Stop.
be.
Bring up
Oh my God, the train just
Cleveland
tilted
theme.
over.
I couldn't resist.
Oh,
They just put the train on the side. No more wheels.
Okay,
It's
we
fine.
now have 8 minutes left.
there is nothing but sparks flying up the side of this thing right now. I'm telling you,
I'm tired.
Flying out.
it looks
If it
like
means anything to
Goldberg.
anybody, I am trying to fucking dip this thing.
Man, it looks like Goldberg just entered the wrestling arena.
No,
It's going off.
I'll be
Raw
satisfied when it's on its side, Jack.
Okay, so last thoughts, everybody. Jason? Final thoughts.
Like he has.
Final thoughts on which thing?
Does it matter?
Pick something.
Look, as far as magic goes, at its core concept, obviously being a practicing witch, I am open to it. I do believe in it to a degree. You, with your intent and with your actions, you can influence almost anything in this world. Now, changing the entire world itself, that's a lofty goal, probably impossible, but if you get enough people to do it, that in itself is magic. When everybody starts moving toward the same intent, the same goal, yes, things can change.
Damn, that was
Whether it be
deep for you.
science,
that was deep.
philosophy, whatever.
Yeah,
We've
I'm
got
not,
a
I don't
follow
know if I like this one.
That was
version
Yeah,
of
look,
it.
look, here's the thing. I know I drink a lot, but I do have some shit going on up here, all right?
I keep expecting you to throw out a dick joke or something. So
No,
Yeah.
that'll be after
No,
we're done
the
recording.
joke's
I
coming.
promise.
It's coming. And then when it's nothing, you're all like, fuck me.
Now you know how us women feel.
okay, Jen. And on that note, Jen.
Oh, my
Apparently
turn?
her whole outlook
No,
is a dick.
Jen. It's Jen.
Oh.
Jen, unless you identify as Jen.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Please.
really don't have any final thoughts. This was
We don't know if she had
another
any
insane
regeneration.
podcast with another side Oh, it was terrible. The side. Yeah, you guys are the bomb. I love you.
We love you back.
This is a great group.
Dan.
I'm sorry, Dan?
Yes, your
Yes,
turn now.
Dan.
Dungeon Dan.
All right. I don't have any final thoughts about Magic, but I do really love all the people on this show. You guys are nuts. You're crazy beyond, the fact that you're out roaming and interacting in the world is amazing. Ricky, you too. Mark, it was so nice to meet you. I hope you come back. You're probably not, but
Yeah, we hope we didn't throw you away.
yeah, don't be scared. It's just
She's
fun.
going to need weeks of therapy now.
Well,
Poor Mark.
Mar is up late. What time is it there?
Well, I think about the magic. I really think magic exists, and some people know what they're doing. Some people don't know what they're doing, and that's the thing. That's where it all remains. But I think it all comes to the human nature and all the intentions that we have. And I
Good
think that
people
that's the
versus
core.
bad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then us.
It all comes to what do you want and what do you want to do, and that's all. So nothing. That's my last thought.
Words of wisdom.
Righty then. Ricky.
Oh, I have no clue. How can I follow that? No, I mean, as a natural dreamer, I'd love to think that that it is maybe out there, and maybe as we become better as an entire species, things might start opening up to us a little bit more, and the way that we've been acting has obviously closed doors for us, and we don't deserve it. Whether it's the sort of like conjuring things from books and stuff like that, I'm not too sure about, but I think the magic of humanity can be a force for good when we're allowed to actually do what we're meant to do. Oh dear, Tim, for crying out fucking loud!
We ain't got any wheels left, Tim.
The poltergeist just pops right in the middle of the heart.
We are grinding to a fucking stop. If we don't blow the engine by the end of every ride, I'm disappointed in all of you.
I think Tim's just had his last word as well. But no, it's always a pleasure to come on with you crazy folks. Even though it's getting a little bit late, it's 11 o'clock here now, so I'm going to get the pooches piddled and then get to bed myself.
I love their language. It makes me feel so snappy.
Yep.
My accent's common as shite. You should hear the real posh accents.
Hey, shut up. I'm hanging your ass tomorrow.
That's right.
Amazon's a day late on their freaking brain, but I'm hanging your ass tomorrow.
Oh, there's a new meme. That's kind
Yeah.
of.
Oh,
In
and
what way are you hanging?
this is the one that's going up. He's joining all of them.
Uh-huh.
Those are books.
Awesome.
Those aren't cut. They're like pictures and shit. Those are actual full books. Like literally the entire actual book. They're shadow box frames. Yeah, they
The rest
cost
of us put that on a shelf.
Oh, look at that.
yeah. See,
No,
Yeah,
actually,
and I'm
it looks really
planning
cool,
on-
Jack.
and I'm
Yeah.
planning on filling
Does.
that. And directly across from me, I have Merrill David's 3 books out of the 6 that he's going to release for his series. That's the Wicked Wing. Then over here to my right, I have 2 of Angel Ramon's books that are going to suddenly populate, which is the Angel Wing. I know, easy, right?
Yeah.
But Ricky is going to be joining the wall, and that's capital T, capital W, joining the wall tomorrow with
I'm honoured, mate.
with
I'm honoured.
Hellspawn.
Excellent.
Dude, I love it, man. I get to do shows with the freaking guy that I'm hanging his book on my damn wall. Are you kidding me?
I know. How cool is this? I never
It's-
once thought I thought be talking to Ricky Fleet, on a show like this.
And it's just gone downhill ever since, Dan, isn't it?
But it's gone down in the greatest of ways. I swear, the more ridiculous we get, the more entertaining we are.
I know. Hey, by the way,
True, it could crash and burn into utter pointlessness, but somehow it doesn't.
It does not.
Nope.
Conductor.
It's the magic of this group.
I know.
Hey.
There we go. We just came around.
Calm down,
That-
Joker.
And that's that
I will give
chemistry.
you a half finger because I can't do the whole thing.
That's it.
Oh. Jeff, last word.
When we're kids, we believe in everything. We
Mhm.
believe in magic. We believe in fairies and dragons and Santa Claus and, you know,
It
Or
may be in
imaginary-
6 feet tall.
our
Yeah.
imaginary friends.
Yep.
And that's a good thing.
Yes.
It's kind of sad that we lose it somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, as far as I'm concerned, anytime we can be a little bit more like kids, this becomes a much better world.
Yep.
I agree.
So,
Yep.
Jack, get us out of here, buddy.
All right. For Jeff Thompson, my main man, my Jeffy. For Jason Aston, the pain in the Aston.
Damn,
Oh.
Skippy.
For his also pain in the Aston, Jennifer Amato, potato,
Oh,
potato,
I got top
potato.
over you. Fuck off.
My sexy beast, the one and only Ricky Fleet, Dungeon Dan, and the special, uber special guest of the week, Mar Garcia. I am so sorry you had to deal with this.
Loved it.
Thank
You were an absolute pleasure. You took the abuse well.
You did. Thank you
Yeah,
so
you
much
did.
for being
You
here.
It's
Thank
so
Thank you
fun.
so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, so until next time, this has been the Padded Room. This has been his damn creation. I am not taking credit for this. We will see you in 2 weeks.
That's right.
Okay.
Nice.
Thanks to
Nice.
everybody here on the panel. Thanks to Tim and everybody else who showed up. We love you all.
See you soon.
By the way,
2 weeks,
we're already
people.
overtime. Let's just go. Let's do it.
We always go overtime. Every time we
Put
go
the,
overtime.
put the wheels back on. Part 2, gentlemen.
In
Ladies.
2 weeks, in 2 weeks, there will be our 10th episode.
Oh boy, this is going to be nasty.
Rumor has it, everybody except Ricky will be drinking.
Shit.
It's going to be absolute carnage.
I've got to
Rest
replenish
your
my stock.
liver.
The rest of us have been
Must be
practicing already.
This,
I've
must
been-
be
this
a
is not
sure
water,
sign-
guys.
I'm in training camp mode right now.
I've got to replenish my stock with you guys. You've pretty much exhausted what I have.
No, you exhausted it.
It could,
Yeah.
it could become a sure sign of the apocalypse.
Hmm.
Be here
Oh.
to see it begin.
See
Adios.
you later, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Thank
Peace
you,
out.
everybody.